Good morning. Today we are starting with the second term syllabus, chapter 10 of the second term. We are starting with now cell cycle and cell division. Growth and reproduction are the characteristics of cells of all living organisms, and all cells reproduce by dividing into two, with each parental cell giving rise to two daughter cells each time they divide. So these newly formed daughter cells, they themselves grow and divide, and they give rise to the new cell population that is formed for the growth and cell division of a single parental cell and its progeny. These cycles of growth and division allow a single cell to form a structure which consists of millions of cells. So in this chapter we are dealing with cell cycle, M phase, significance of mitosis, meiosis, and significance of meiosis. Cell cycle. Cell division is very important process of all living organisms. During the division of a cell, DNA replication and cell growth also takes place. So you can see here the diagram of the cell cycle. Here we can see that this all cell division have to take place in a coordinated way to ensure the correct division and formation of the progeny cells containing intact genomes, and the sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes the other constituents of the cell, and then give rise to the two daughter cells is called as cell cycle. So this whole process is called as the cell cycle. Although cell growth in terms of cytoplasmic increase is a continuous process, DNA synthesis occurs only during one specific stage in the cell, and the replicated chromosomes, that is DNA, are then distributed to daughter nuclei by a complex series of events during cell division, and these events are under the genetic control. Phases of cell cycle. A typical eukaryotic cell cycle is illustrated by the human cells in culture, and these cells divide once in approximately every 24 hours, and the duration of the cell cycle can vary from organism to organism and also from cell type to cell type. Yeast, for example, can progress through the cell cycle in only about 90 minutes, and the cell cycle is divided into two basic phases, that is interphase and the M phase. M phase is called as the mitotic phase, and the M phase represents the phase when the actual cell division or mitosis occurs, and the interphase represents this interphase represents the phase between the two successive M phases. This is one M phase and this next M phase. This is called as the interphase in between stage. Now we've said the interphase, it lasts for more than 95% of the duration of the cell cycle, and the M phase starts with the nuclear division, and which corresponds to the separation of the daughter chromosomes, and that is called as karyokinesis, and it usually ends by the division of the cytoplasm, which is called as cytokinesis. So the interphase, which is also called as the resting phase. Now this whole is the interphase. This is called as the resting phase, and is actually the time during which the cell is preparing for division by undergoing various cell growth and DNA replication in an orderly manner. So all these events of cell growth and DNA synthesis happens during this interphase. So the interphase is divided into three further phases. One is G1 phase, which is also called as GAP1. Second is synthetic phase, which is also called as S phase. And third is the G2 phase, which is also called as the GAP2 phase. Now G1 phase, you see here G1 phase. Now the G1 phase, it corresponds to the intervals between the two. It is the interval between the mitosis and the initiation of DNA replication. So during G1 phase, the cell is metabolically active. You can see another diagram also, which is based on your NCERT. Now here you can see this G1 phase, G0, which is also called as the quiescent phase, synthetic phase, and the G2 phase. All these phases are the phases of the interphase, and this is the actual M phase where the actual mitosis happens. So we're talking about the G1 phase. So G1 phase is the interval between the mitosis and the DNA replication, and during this phase what happens is we can say that cell is metabolically active and it continuously grows but does not replicate the DNA. S or synthetic phase, it is the period during which the DNA synthesis or replication takes place, and during this time the amount of DNA per cell doubles, and if the initial amount of the DNA is denoted as 2C, and then it increases to 4C. But there is no increase in the chromosome number, and if the cell has diploid or 2n number of chromosome at the G1 phase, then even after S phase the number of chromosomes remains the same, that is 2n. So in animal cells during the synthetic phase, the DNA replication begins to nucleus and the centriole duplicates in the cytoplasm, and during the G2 phase the proteins, they are synthesized in preparation for mitosis while cell growth continues. So some cells in the adult animals, they do not appear to exhibit division, for example heart cells, and many other cells they divide occasionally, which need to replace cells that have been lost due to injury or cell death, and these cells they do not divide further and they exit the G2 phase to enter an inactive stage, which is also called as the G0 or quiescent stage of the life cycle. So cells in this stage remain metabolically active, but they no longer proliferate unless called on to do so and depending on the requirement of the organism. So in animals, mitosis, cell division, is only seen in the diploid somatic cells. The plants, they can show mitotic division in both haploid and diploid cells, and from the examples of these alternation of generations in plants, we can identify plant species and stages at which the mitosis is seen in the haploid phase. M phase. This is the most dramatic period of the cell cycle, involving a major reorganization of virtually all components of the cell. Since the number of chromosomes in the parent and the progeny cells, they are the same, that is why it is called as the equational division. And the for convenience, the mitosis, it is divided into 4 stages. It is divided into 4 stages of the nuclear division. It is very essential to understand that cell division is a progressive process, and it is a very clear cut lines that cannot be drawn between various stages. So but still, for the convenience purpose, mitosis is divided into 4 stages, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Now these are the various stages of mitosis. Now cell at the end of the prophase, when viewed under the microscope, it do not show Golgi complexes, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleolus or nucleus envelope. So during prophase, what happens is, it is the stage when mitosis shows the S and the G2 phases of the interphase, and the S and the G2 phases of the new DNA molecule formed are not distinct but intertwined. So prophase is marked by, you can see here, prophase. Prophase is actually marked by the initiation of the condensation of the chromatin material, and the chromosomal material becomes entangled during the process of chromatin condensation. The centriole, which has undergone duplication during S phase, you can see here the position of the centriole, which has undergone duplication during the process of interphase. This centriole now begins to move towards the opposite poles of the cell, and the completion of the prophase, it is marked by the chromosomal material condenses to form compact mitotic chromosomes, and the chromosomes are seen to be composed of 2 chromatids which are attached together at the centromere. and the initiation of the assembly of the mitotic spindle. You can see here these are the spindle fibers. So initiation of these spindle fibers, the microtubules and the proteinaceous component of the cell cytoplasm that helps in the process. So at the end of the prophase, we can see that the Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleolus and nuclear envelope, they all disappear. Metaphase. Now the complete disintegration of the nuclear membrane marks the start of the second phase of mitosis. Hence chromosomes, they are spread through the cytoplasm of the cell, and by this stage the condensation of the chromosomes is completed, and they can be observed clearly under the microscope. And in this stage the morphology of the chromosomes is most easily studied. At this stage the metaphase chromosomes is made up of two sister chromatids. You can see here two sister chromatids, and they are held together by the centromere. This is the central centromere, and the small disc shaped structures at the surface of the centromeres, they are called as kinetochores. They are at the sides. These are called as kinetochores, and these structures, they serve as the sites of attachment of the spindle fibers which are formed. These are the spindle fibers which are formed and that are moved into the position at the center of the cell. Hence the metaphase is characterized by all the chromosomes coming to lie at the equator, with one chromatid of each chromosome connected to its kinetochore to spindle fibers from one pole, and its sister chromatids connected to its kinetochore of the spindle fibers of the opposite poles. So this plane of alignment of the chromosomes at the metaphase is called as the metaphase plate. And the key features of the metaphase are spindle fibers. They are attached to the kinetochores of the chromosomes, and the chromosomes are moved to the spindle equator and get aligned along metaphase plate through spindle fibers of both the poles. Now we come to anaphase. At the onset of the anaphase, each chromosome is arranged at the metaphase plate. It splits simultaneously, and the two daughter chromatids, now referred to as the chromosomes, are the future daughter nuclei. They begin their migration towards the opposite poles, and as each chromosome moves away from the equatorial plate, the centromere of each chromosome is towards the pole, and hence at the leading end, and the arms of the chromosomes, they are trailing behind. That can be seen in the figure. Thus anaphase stage is characterized by centromere split and the chromatids separate, and the chromatids, they move to the opposite poles. Telophase. At the beginning of the final stage of mitosis, that is the telophase, the chromosomes that have reached their respective poles, they decondense and they lose their individuality, and the individual chromosomes, they can no longer be seen as the chromatid material. They collect as the mass of the two poles, and the chromosomes cluster at the opposite spindle poles, and their identity is lost. Nuclear envelope assembles around the chromosomes cluster, and the nucleolus, Golgi apparatus and endoplasmic reticulum, they reforms. Cytokinesis. Cytokinesis, here the segregation of the duplicated chromosomes into the daughter nuclei, that is the karyokinesis, completed, but the cell itself is divided into two daughter cells by a separate process which is called as cytokinesis, at the end of which the cell division is complete. So in animal cells, this is achieved by the appearance of a furrow. You can see here the furrow appears in the plasma membrane, and this furrow gradually deepens and ultimately joins in the center, dividing the cell cytoplasm into two. But in the plant cells, cytokinesis is by a different mechanism. Here the cell wall formation starts at the center. Cell plate formation, it starts from the center and between the walls of the two adjacent cells, and at the time of this division, the organelles like mitochondria, plastids, they get distributed between the two daughter cells. In some organisms, karyokinesis is not followed by cytokinesis, as a result of which multinucleate conditions, they arise, which leads to the formation of syncytium, that is a liquid endosperm in coconut is the example.